Hey, what's up everybody? Okay, are you guys ready for another Spawn review? If you're ready for another Spawn review, hit the like button! If you're not, don't hit that dislike button. Just comment on it. Just comment on this video. Tell me what you think. Tell me what you think of this review. This review that has yet to happen. Okay guys, did I do my introduction as your friendly neighborhood YouTuber? We are back at it again? Yeah? Okay, so we are going to take a look at Badrock here, Youngblood. This is, of course, Spawn from Spawn. You know how much I love my Spawn figures. And this character right here, guys, this figure, should I say, is really, really important to my childhood, so to speak. Because I used to have this figure when I was a kid growing up. I used to play with him all the time. He used to be one of my favorite figures to play with growing up. And it's been probably over 20 years since I've actually held this guy in my hand. You know, when you're young and you have a lot of toys growing up, and you had a lot of good times playing with your toys, and then when you grow up, you kind of get rid of your action figures and you sell them, and then you become an adult and you're like, okay, what now? What do I live this adult life? So I think I speak for all of us, who collect action figures. It's very reminiscent of our childhood, especially, if you've had action figures, that you were that you had when you were younger, your favorite action figures, and to get them, in your adult life when you're a grown man, and to have them in your possession again, it's a pretty awesome feeling. And that's also one of the reasons why I like doing a lot of Spawn reviews, guys, because I had a lot of Spawn action figures when I grew up. And I noticed that it's with a lot of people as well, with a lot of toy reviewers, whether it be X-Men, whether it be Marvel figures, or Incredible Hulk, or Ninja Turtles. We all have something from our childhood that brought us really good memories. And Spawn figures, especially this guy right here, brought me a lot of good memories. So, if you are ready for this review, I'm going to go ahead and pop this guy out the box. And we're gonna take a look at him. Now, as I'm unboxing this figure for you guys, I just want to speak a little bit more about my childhood. It's weird, I remember having this figure when I was younger, but I don't remember opening the package to this Badrock. You know what I mean? Isn't it? Because obviously he came in a package back in the day. But I just want to say, isn't it weird, that you can remember as a youngster playing with one of your favorite toys, but you can't really remember opening the package? You know what I mean? You can't really remember any of this stuff, even though you've seen it a million times. I can't remember as a child, like, opening this package and playing with, well, I remember playing with the figure, but I don't remember opening the package to play with this figure. I guess some of those memories you can't find in your database, in your memory database, I guess. But here's Badrock, and let me bring it down. And yeah, the figures, one thing that always amazes me, guys, is the figures that I grew up playing with are, that we grew up playing with. When you get them as an adult, they always seem a little bit smaller than they used to be. Probably because we were smaller, as kids, and we had smaller hands. So to get this guy in my hand again, and as an adult collecting other action figures that were bigger than this guy, that's probably also the reason why he feels so small in my hands. He's a little dusty. I don't know how the hell he's so dusty. He's been in this box for a while. I don't know where this dust is coming from. But yeah, he was a little dusty, should I say. But there's nothing complex about this figure. He is just simplistic 90s figure. See what I mean? It's like a little dust, or maybe it's toy dust, toy debris dust, I don't know. Yeah, but there's nothing you know, these were the figures back in the day. I mean, there was nothing special about them, you know, but the way they looked and the way that they made us feel, you know, when we were younger, when we played with them, you know, it just brings back so many memories, man. And to have this guy in my hands again, it's a really, really good feeling, you know. And I'm sure you guys know what I'm talking about, you know, when you've had an action figure, one of your favorite action figures, you know, growing up and playing with as a kid, and to have them in your hands again as an adult, it's definitely an awesome, awesome feeling. And yeah, he looks really, really good on camera. Really, really nice on camera. And from what I can remember, these things pop up right here. And then the red missiles. Let me bring the camera down just a little bit. These red missiles over here. Pretty well taped in there. Okay, so here's the red missiles right here. And then you just kind of pop them in like so. They're not, I don't think they're going to stay in there because, oh yeah, that one stays in there. Oh yeah, they both stay in there. Look at that. Wow. And then you can close them. Just watch out for his antennas right there. And then here's his triggers right here. So let me pop up, open one of these, and then I'll fire one of these. So you just push back on the trigger. And look at that. Yeah, it has some nice firing strength to it. Hard to believe, guys. What is this? This is, oh no, it popped out. This figure is over, let's see, it came out in, what year? It doesn't have a year on it. I know it's like a 95 or 96. Yeah, 95. 96, 97, well, 95, 15, 16, 16, 17, 18, 19, yeah. Almost 25 years old, if my math is correct. Nice figure overall, guys. And the great thing about it is I like how they added the red to this figure to match the red right there. You know what? I don't know. Let me see. You know, it doesn't have a read-up on Badrock, which is pretty unusual. Usually it'll give me like a read-up on Badrock. But I'm looking here. Let me see. It has the Spawn pamphlet right in here. And yeah, here are all these other Spawn figures right here. This is all the Spawn figures that you can collect right here. I've reviewed probably most of these figures. And Badrock, you know what? Let me read up on it has a story for Badrock. So let me read up a story on Badrock, guys. Let me bring my camera down just a little bit lower. There we go. And I'll read up a story on Badrock because I'm not too familiar with the figure. Even though I grew up playing with the figure, I don't really know the story of Badrock. So let me read up a story on Badrock. Okay, like Chappelle, Badrock is a member of the covert government force called Youngblood. Badrock uses his super size and strength to defeat evil enemies the world over. After a freak accident in his father's lab, Badrock is a 13-year-old kid morphed into a superhero he is today. He is an overt kill, continually battle each other. He and Overkill continually battle each other. Okay, so I didn't even know Badrock was a good guy. And I didn't even know he was a 13-year-old boy. Isn't that weird? Isn't that like a bit of a coincidence that we were just talking about, you know, my childhood and growing up, and, you know, one of the main reasons and this figure was one of my favorite figures growing up. And come to find out, he was a 13-year-old boy transformed into this super monster human. And he's a good guy, too. I always thought Badrock was a bad guy. I always thought he was a villain of Spawn. But he's a good guy. He's a 13-year-old boy, guys. Huh, you learn something new every day. I learned something new about one of my favorite figures growing up, you know, 20 years later. So there's the back of him. The articulation, guys, it is a 90s figure. Boom. There's his articulation right there in his legs. He has a wrist swivel. His arms can move up and down. They can rotate. I'm pretty sure they can. Yeah, they can rotate. And his head can rotate somewhat, but if you move these up, like so, you can get his head to rotate. I don't want to, because I'm always afraid something's going to break off, so I'll just leave it. But it's really awesome, guys. As simplistic as this figure is, he's just awesome to have in my Spawn collection again. With my other bigger figures, he's definitely very, very, very awesome. And too bad, this is the only Badrock that I know that McFarlane created. I don't know if he ever created another, you know, updated Badrock. And of course, this was from Youngblood, so I don't think McFarlane, being that it's technically from McFarlane Toys, but it's not really McFarlane, because I think Youngblood, Rob Liefeld, you know, he was the creator of Youngblood, so therefore I don't think McFarlane had the license over Youngblood to create more Youngblood figures, because yeah, it doesn't show the Youngblood figures, except for Chappelle right there. But Chappelle is one figure I don't have. I should have picked him up because I did see him for sale, and Chappelle is part of the Youngblood that I've never seen like another version of a Chappelle. So yeah, so that's a possibility of why Badrock was never redone, you know, later on in the Spawn series, in the McFarlane series. So, guys, alright, I'm going to leave it at that, man. There's really nothing more to say. I pretty much said everything I wanted to say. It's a classic vintage 90s Spawn figure. I really wanted to review this figure for a long time, and you've seen this guy in a couple of my videos, and now I decided to review him. So, we're about to hit the 13-minute mark, guys. If you're still with me, thanks. As far as me rating this figure, listen, I'm going to give him a 7, 8, and that's simply based on nostalgic, you know. If I was just reviewing this figure and he didn't mean anything from my childhood, I'd probably give him a 5. But because of the nostalgic factor, you know, he's definitely a 7 or 8. Based on that alone. So, guys, there was my little review. You know, touched on a lot of memories right there. My little review of Badrock from 1995, guys. Spawn, Youngblood series. So if you guys like this review, hit the like button, comment, subscribe. Hit that notification bell if you want to see receive more cool reviews like this. And there you guys have it. There was my little review of Badrock from Youngblood. Just want to thank you guys for watching, and I'll catch you guys later. Bye!